Hello, hi everyone. We hope that you have a good day. So today my team and I would like to talk about the brewing barista discontent at Starbucks. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I am Khadija Osman and my team member Lee Song Han. You can wave your hand. And the next one is Chan Pat Yin. Can wave your hand? All right. So next slide is about the outlines. Here it is. We have got 5 topics to be discussed. The first one is the introduction and also case analysis. Second one is about the problem statement, conflict resolution. Next one is the recommendation for future improvement. And lastly, about the conclusion and key takeaways. Right. The first one is about the introduction. A little bit introduction about Starbucks. Actually, they already 54 years in the market as of 2025 at the moment. And they started in the Seattle with only one store, and they slowly grow and they grow globally. First one in China, and then after that they have made a few launch to make sure their brand is ready in the market to be well known, which is they introduce the Starbucks cards, they introduce the Starbucks iPhone app. And then another success story is they are now in 45,000 stores globally, not only in the US area. All right. So Starbucks is similar like another company where for sure they have got politic issue, they have got some issue between employee and also the management. So today our team would like to focus on these three key focus. The first one is employee conflict, motivation, and also organizational trust. As we all know, the conflict have got 5 phases, and for Starbucks, they already entered into the third phase. They name it as instigation phase. Okay, where the barista frustration over their stagnant wages, where the Starbucks only pay them up to between USD 15 and also USD 24. And then the second issue is about the safety concern, where the employee doesn't have any flexible hour to work, and also they have got shortages in the staff where lead them to work overtime. And then the third one is they are having poor communication between the employee and also the management, where sometimes the management doesn't like to do not have any open communication with the barista. And then which eventually bring the barista and also the employee try to enter to the unionized, and it involve up to 300 locations, okay, which is quite big, quite huge, right? And then after having all this conflict, it's lead to the motivation down to all the employee, and eventually it tarnish the company organizational trust, where for sure the employee started to feel, hey, my management didn't listen to us. And also even they do the strike, also company Starbucks didn't listen to them, and it actually having an impact on the business. When employees started to not feel happy to the business, for sure the productivity will be decreases. The employees started to feel not do not feel to come to the work, and they attend more on the strike. So eventually it bring up the turnover employee high. The next one, for sure, it will impact on the operational risk of the company, where the reputation of Starbucks will be hurt, and then customer loyalty will be affected, where customer, for sure, they have got a problem to enter to the outlet, where a lot of employee doesn't come for work, and also the employee involved in the strike. And eventually, it will impact on the Starbucks financial performance. All right, the next slide is about the problem statements. When they have a why they have got a conflict is because employee, when they are looking at the market rate, is actually Starbucks offering inadequate wages. And also when it comes to the safety concern, they are having shortages in the staff, where they have to work extra, and then even the equipment also not working well. And so that's why the employee feel the working condition is actually not good, and it's leading to the high turnover rates. In terms of the motivation, maybe some employees still can still can be there, but actually their motivation tend to be down already. And that's why the emergence of unionization efforts is there. And it actually can threaten the employee moral too. The next one, what happened to the trust is actually the employee feel there is no trust being given by the management, even though they already try to use a proper channel by enter into the unionization. And so that means there is a good channel for them to express their dissatisfaction. But the management, what they do is they try to close several outlets who entered into the unionization, which is not good at all. And then eventually it will threaten the overall operational efficiency, and the brand reputation also will be tarnished. Right. So the next slide, I will hand over it to Songhan. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to share about the conflict resolution model overview. The model that was being chosen was Thomas Kuhlman Conflict Mode Instrument, which is TKI. The TKI is actually a framework that identifies 5 distinct conflict handling styles based on assertiveness and cooperativeness. Out of the 5 distinct conflict handling styles, we pick the cooperating because it have a high assertiveness and high cooperativeness, and it suggests that work together to find a mutually beneficial solution. For the next slide, I would like to talk about applying conflict resolution in Starbucks context. A paper published by Marketing Institute mentioned that Starbucks has adopted a collaborative strategy to address internal conflicts, focusing on open dialogue and mutual understanding. So what's the step that implemented? First, enhance staffing and wage management. The company increased wages by about 30% and improved staffing levels to address employee concerns. After that, company also giving safety training. Company need to have safety training to all the employees to avoid careless mistakes, which solve the employee safety concerns and indirectly decrease the turnover rates. As the outcome, when there's conflict, company willing to cooperate and make changes which end up with having a peaceful working environment. Next is about dispute resolution methods and motivation. A paper published by Reuters mentioned that in January 2025, Starbucks and its union agreed to bring in a mediator to assist in resuming and concluding stock contract negotiation, demonstrating a commitment to collaborative dispute resolution. So what is the method employed? First, direct resolution. This step encouraging open communication between employees and management to resolve issues internally. But what if the first step cannot work? It goes to the second step, mediation. Mediation suggests that engaging third-party mediators to facilitate discussion and reach amicable solutions. As the outcome, by having mediators in contract talks, the union can better propose their needs. When their needs are fulfilled by the company, it will become a kind of motivation since unions got what they expect. For the next slide, we talk about the organizational trust. Establishing a culture of trust is essential for organizational success. What is the strategy can be used? First, transparent communication. Regularly sharing information about company decisions and policies with employees are needed. Besides, informal monthly conversation. CEO Laxman Narashiham initiated informal monthly meetings at the sector headquarters, fostering direct communication between leadership and employees. Third, accountability. Holding all members of the organization respond for their actions, and last but not least, ethical leadership. Leaders demonstrating integrity and ethical behavior in all actions. As the outcome, having these strategies can smoothen the work by increasing trust level of the company, operational efficiency, and enhance the brand reputation. That's all for my part. I will pass the floor to Ethan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sun Han, for the explanation. Now we have to focus on the recommendation for the future improvement. On the conflict itself resolution, we hope that we are below action to be taken until like 0 to 6 months, such as joint decision-making committee, to form a committee composed of both Starbucks executive and employee representative to discuss workplace policy, wages, and also the benefit. Also, we can have a conflict mediation training Implement a conflict resolution workshop for the managers and employee to encourage constructive discussions and minimize the adversarial relationships. As a union leadership collaboration, instead of resisting the unionization effort, Starbucks should work toward a cooperative relation with the union's leader to negotiate a fair terms to the employee, and also a proactive and structured dispute resolution process that minimize the workplace conflict while improving the trust between the Starbucks and also the employee. On the second part, we focus on the motivation. This should be take place around 6 to 12 months down the road. First is the career development and growth opportunity. According to this Maslow's self-actualization and Hertzberg's motivators, Starbucks should create internal career progression pathway, encouraging employee to grow into a managerial roles, scholarship and training program, and leadership mentoring to enhance the professional development. Compensation review. Compensation and benefit of the employees should be reviewed regularly to benchmarking to ensure the Starbucks to remain competitive in the market. Performance-based bonuses to reward the outstanding contributions. On the last one is the work-life balance. Flexible working hours or for the childcare or educational commitments, and also Starbucks to consider to improve healthcare and well-being programs such as mental health support. On the trust itself should be take around 12 to 24 months place. Leadership Transformation Initiative. Based on this psychology contracts theory and the trust model, Starbucks leaders must be open communication on a business decision, especially those affecting the employee. Such as mentioned by our Sun Han on the monthly CEO open office Q&A, we should make it have a regular quarterly or yearly beside the monthly. Employee participation in the decision making, also such a decision making to ensure the staff have a voice in the policy to affecting the works. Regular feedback to get the feedback from the employee to the survey, so to gauge on the performance on the Starbucks itself. And lastly, for this ethical business practice accountability, we have zero tolerance on the unfair treatments and discrimination, purposely reporting a fair labor practices and diversity initiative and ethical business policy. All of these above implement, we have to ensure a work environment where employee will feel valued, respected, and leading to the higher retention rates and also the company loyalty. We go to the next slide on this key takeaway and also the summary. As we mentioned above our presentation from our colleagues, proactive conflict resolution to ongoing mechanism, mediation, and direct resolution to prevent a further dispute from further escalating. Collaborative negotiation and work closely with the employee representative to resolve a grievance and balance the company employee interests. And motivation on a driven performance to ensure HR have a fair policy or a program for this employee. Ongoing on this a trust and also a transparency where leadership have a strategy to engage with the more engagement with the employee. And lastly, on our conclusion on this one, Starbucks have ongoing challenges to employee dissatisfaction, unionization effort, workplace conflict, and also a demand on the long-term HR strategy. Implementing a conflict resolution mechanism, motivation-driven policy, and trust-building frameworks will create a sustainable work environment to foster a loyalty, productivity, and positive organization. We have included on this ONA, Organization Network Analysis, as a game changer in this Starbucks HR strategy. Because the ONA can provide a Starbucks with a scientific approach to resolve the conflict and motivating the employee and rebuilding the trust, where the ONA play effect, where the conflict originated and spread for, and who will be included and isolated in the career growth engagement, and also which network to foster a trust and how a leadership message flow through the company and the employee. By the final thoughts, by integrating the ONR, Starbucks should shift from a reactive HR strategy to a proactive, data-driven approach to ensure a resilient, engaged, and motivated workforce. Thank you.
All right, so that's all from us. And hopefully by the recommendation given by us, Starbucks can do some changes towards their this content issue between barista. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.